Welcome back to a brand new daily update on Helldivers 2. Even though the Major Order advised us to choose which stratagem we wanted, it looks like we're getting both this week anyway. SPITZ, the community manager, is giving us a whole lot of awesome information, and the Helldivers Twitter X team are doing a great job. So like and subscribe and hit that ding dong bell for the future spreading of democracy. The Major Order went live on Friday, and we didn't even get to pick a planet until Saturday morning, when Penta opened up for us. They announced that divers would need to choose which stratagem they wanted the most and then liberate that planet in order to have it. Now, with Penta already liberated, we will be getting the airburst launcher first, by the looks of things. However, we didn't get a chance to try the new and improved mines, but fear not, divers, as SPITZ has been posting quite a bit on Discord over the weekend, answering player questions and also giving us some truly good insight to some upcoming changes. One of the things he said was, "That's a complicated question to answer. The major build update next week is going to push out the intended final version of the airburst launcher, and mines are rather push out a bunch of fixes for some issues with both of them. So the version you're using right now doesn't have those fixes attached. It wasn't guaranteed whether the community would get access to the two stratagems before the next patch, so the current version in-game is in a playable state, but likely to perform differently after we move into the next patch. I'm also not sure if the fixes for these stratagems are in the initial build release or the first hot fix, but both are scheduled for next week. First off, this is great news to see. We will be getting both stratagems this week, but we will also be getting two updates. One will be the big patch update, which will more than likely be out on Tuesday and include the stratagems and the fire reworking and the citizens evac missions, but we will then be getting a hot fix, which will likely either nerf or buff the stratagems and other things in the game. In another post, SPITZ let us actually know as well that the spear lock-on has been fixed and is just waiting for a patch for it to go live, as SPITZ said the lock-on was fixed 17 days ago. So that's also great to see, that the devs are going through the known issue list, which has been quite a substantial size for the past few weeks now, and we're getting things done, which is great. Now on to the new daily order, divers, which is to kill 8 bile spewers to get 15 medals. So get your grenade launchers or laser cannon and go and get those 15 medals. Our last story today, divers, is what's going on with Helldivers' Twitter X account. If you can cast your minds back to last week, we talked about what if Helldivers 2 was made by EA, Ubisoft or another games company, and how it would charge for everything. Well, Helldivers 2 Twitter X team put out a post yesterday which is amusing as hell and also shows the bigger picture of what we were talking about last week. Their tweet was, "Be sure to check out the deals in the acquisition center today with prices so low they're practically unheard of. True believers can grab the CM21 Trench Paramedic for only 250 super credits, featuring increased pocket size and extra stims. Not available for free to super citizens." Now this tweet is actually making fun of Escape from Tarkov, which a few days ago they launched a brand new version of the game for $250, which is insane. The game's been out for 8 years, and they've just released a version for that price with only a few extra bells and whistles. And what do you get for that absurd price point? You get a few extra spaces and an entire PvE mode locked behind a paywall. As you can see here, the Tarkov Discord is just people spamming the hell out of it, so the community managers know how much the player base hates this version of the game. There's so much going on, and then obviously we've seen the people from Tarkov coming out from Battle State, and they're like, "Oh, the PvE is a new game mode, it's not a new DLC." And the reason for this is, and why the player base is so angry, well, Tarkov released a version for $140, where players were previously led to believe they would receive all future Escape from Tarkov content for free. It is a DLC, as you literally have to download it after you've bought an edition, so it is downloadable content. All new game modes like that, they are DLC. It's absolutely insane that these people want players to pay for this for a game which they've had for 8 years. I will say though that if you own the Edge of Darkness edition, you only got to pay an extra $100, which is still insane, as that copy of the game costs $140, or did cost that much, as now Battlestate have unlisted it. But this is what's wrong with the gaming industry at the moment, and this will continue if you get people buying this edition, which you will have a lot of them doing. They will continue to do these stupid editions even years after the game has been released. Another perfect example is Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, GTA 5 is my #1 game of all time. I absolutely love that game, but when it was released on the PS3 first, then the PS4, now the PS5. I will say I have paid for it for the PS3 to the PS4, but when the PS5 version, there was a time where you could literally get the story mode for free. I think it was for a week when the game first came out, which is what I did. And then obviously GT Online, that's another free aspect. But again, with that game, they're still making billions a year of people buying shark cards, which is just absolutely insane, especially when now, even if you go grind the game, you can still make substantial money. But you do get people who buy these editions. Again, for $250 though, it's like, well, do you get a statue? Do you get anything resembling any kind of memorabilia like we used to get with Call of Duty, Resident Evil, where there's statues, night vision, and all these other things? No. $250 for a downloadable game. If this carries on, the game industry is not going to survive because people are going to look at this and go, I'm not paying that. Let me know what you think about this down below, my fellow Helldivers, and let's keep spreading democracy.